Hello everyone. We will learn in this session the concept of interest first, and then we will go through the concept of simple interest. When a person borrows amount of money from another person or institution, he is charged with some money by the institution or by the bank or by the other person. This charge is because the person has used the money of the institution or the bank, and this charge charged by institution on the use of money is called as interest. Interest consists of various terminologies. Right now we are going to learn the basic terminologies related with the interest, and in that first is principal. Principal is the sum borrowed by an individual from lender or institution or an bank. Then term. Term is the total period for which the sum is borrowed by an person. Then amount. Amount is the total sum returned by the individual to the lender or to the institution or to the bank. This sum consists of principal plus interest, and it is called as amount. Now, my dear students, we will understand the concept of simple interest. When the interest is calculated on the original principal, whatever may be the term, it is called as simple interest. We will now solve the problems or examples based on simple interest, but before moving on to solving the problems based on simple interest, first of all we will try to understand the formula which is used to solve example based on simple interest. Now we will learn the formula for simple interest. The formula for simple interest is as shown on the screen. It is I. I is simple interest. I is equal to PRN upon 100. Here P denotes the principal, that is the sum borrowed by an individual. N denotes the period or the time in years for which the sum is borrowed. R denotes the rate of interest, and I is nothing but simple interest. This is how I is equal to PRN upon 100 will give us the simple interest. Now we will understand the formula for amount. Amount A, that is capital A, is found by adding interest to the principal. Therefore, we can say that A is equal to principal plus interest, and the formula to calculate amount, that is capital A, is equal to 1 plus Rn upon 100. Here A represents amount, P represents the sum borrowed, R represents the rate of interest, and the I represents simple interest. Now we will start to solve the problems based on simple interest. This is the first problem in front of you. Find the simple interest on rupees 1250 for 2.5 years at 12% per annum. My dear students, I would like to urge you all that whenever you will solve the problems based on mathematics, the first thing you must do is read the problem for at least 2 times and try to understand what has been given in the problem, and then find out what they have asked in the problem. So, first of all, we will read the problem and we will try to understand what they have given in the problem. Find the simple interest on rupees 1250 for 2.5 years at 12% per annum. My dear students, here they have asked us to find a simple interest. And just now we have studied that simple interest is denoted by letter capital I. So we have to find in this problem I, that is simple interest. Here in this problem they have given us P, that is sum borrowed, and that sum borrowed is rupees 1250. They have also given us the period for which the sum has been borrowed, that is n is equal to 2.5, which is represented by 5/2. Also in the example they have given us the rate of interest, and the rate of interest is represented by small r, and rate of interest r is equal to 12. Now using the formula for simple interest, that is I is equal to PRN upon 100, we are going to calculate the simple interest. The formula is I is equal to PRN upon 100. Now what we will do, we will put in the values of the variables in the equation. We know that P is equal to 1250, N is equal to 5/2, and R is equal to 12. We will just put all these values in the equation. The equation will become like this: 1250 into 5/2 into 12 divided by 100. And when we solve it on calculator or by hand, the I is equal to 375 rupees. So we can say that simple interest is equal to rupees 375. If rupees 1250 is borrowed for 2.5 years at 12% per annum, one has to pay rupees 375 as simple interest. So now we will move towards the next example, example number 2. The same methodology we are going to use to solve second example. That we will read the problem for at least 2 times and we will try to understand what are the various terms they have given in the problem, what they have asked us to find. A sum of rupees 4,800 amounted to rupees 6,240 in a certain period. They have not given us the period, but they have told us the sum is 4,800 and amounted to, that means they have given us A, capital A, that is 6,240. If the rate of simple interest is 12%, find the period. Directly they have asked us to find the period. Here in this example, if you notice, they have given us sum, that is P is equal to 4,800, A is equal to 6,240, R is equal to 12% per annum, and they have asked us to find N. My dear students, please note one thing. If you use first formula, that is I is equal to PRN upon 100, we are not going to get what they have asked us. So, looking towards what has been given in the example, we came to know that they have given us A, that is capital A, amount is equal to 6,240. So, we will use the second formula we have studied just now, and that second formula was A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. By using this formula, we are going to find out the period. A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. Now, we will put in the values they have given of various variables. Like P, we will put as an 4,800, 12 as an rate of interest, N they have asked us to find, and upon 100. If you solve this example, if you solve this equation by putting these values, the equation will be like this. We will have to move this 4,800 from right hand side to the left hand side. It will divide 6,240. So equation will become like this: 6,240 divided by 4800 is equal to 1 plus 12n divided by 100. Now, by solving this equation, you will get n is equal to 5 by 2 years. That means the period is 2.5 years. So, we can say that when a sum of rupees 4,800 is amounts to 6,240 and if the rate of interest is 12%, the period is 2.5 years. This is how, my dear students, we can make use of two formulas which we have just studied. Now we will proceed towards our next example. The example is on our screen. A sum of money doubles itself in 10 years. Find the rate of simple interest. My dear students, this is a very tricky example. If you see the example, lot many things are not given in the example. Just they have said a sum of money doubles itself. But it has a meaning. A sum of money doubles itself. If money is P, it doubles itself. It becomes 2P in 10 years. If you have to solve this example, we have to assume certain things. We have to assume that sum is equal to P and if it doubles itself in 10 years, that means P becomes A and A is equal to 2P because sum is doubled in 10 years. They have given us the period, that is N, in which the money gets doubled. So, we will assume that P be the principal, that is sum is nothing but P. And if P is principal, then amount A, capital A is equal to 2P. N is equal to 10 and we have to find rate of interest. So, for this purpose again, in the last example, we have used our second formula, that is A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. We have to use the same formula in order to solve this example. The formula is on your screen. A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. Now what we will do? We will put in the values of variable in the equation and we will try to solve the equation. On the place of A, we will put 2P. On the place of P, as you all know, we have assumed P as sum. So, that will be P into bracket 1 plus 10. 10 is the number or the period. 10 into R upon 100. If you solve this equation, it will become like this. 2 is equal to 1 plus 10R upon 100. Why? Because P is on both sides, right hand side and left hand side. So, it will be cancelled. So, 2 is equal to 1 plus 10R upon 100 and therefore, we can say that R is equal to 10 and R is nothing but rate of interest. So, in this example, rate of interest is 10% per annum. Rate of interest is always expressed in percentage. So, now we can say that a sum of money which doubles itself in 10 years, in that case, the simple interest will be 10% per annum. This is what we are going to learn in the first topic, that is simple interest. Now, we will learn the last example based on simple interest. The example is in front of your screen. What sum of money will amount to rupees 43,200 at 5% per annum? Simple interest for 4 years. See, again the same golden rule. If we have to solve this example, we must read this example for at least 2 times and we will try to understand what has been given in the example. See, it is quite clear, my dear students. We have to use either first formula or we have to use either second formula. Depending on the information given in the example, we will decide we are going to use first formula or second formula. Now we will read once again this example. What sum of money will amount to rupees 43,200? They have clearly said in the example, what sum of money will amount to 43,200. That means they have given us amount. Amount is represented by capital A, that is equal to 43,200. What sum? That means they have asked us to find out P if the rate of interest is 5% per annum. 5% is nothing but R, and for 4 years. That means they have given us N. So, in order to solve this example, we can have A is equal to 43,200, R is equal to 5, N is equal to 4, and we have to find P. Now the question, which formula we will use? Any guesses? Yes, if you see in the example, they have given us capital A. That means we must use the formula which must comprise of capital A, that is amount, and that is formula number second. Exactly right. Formula number second says that A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. Yes, A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus Rn upon 100. Now what we will do? We will put in the values of various known variables into the equation, and there is one unknown variable in the equation. So that unknown variable is P, and all the other variables you know. So we will put 43,200 in the place of A. P is unknown. 1 plus 5 into 4 divided by 100. If you solve this equation, P is equal to 5 by 6 into 43,200, and hence P is equal to 36,000. That is, rupees 36,000 will amount to 43,200 in 4 years. That means the sum is 36,000. If you invest 36,000, or if you borrow 36,000 at an 5% rate of interest for 4 years, you will have to return 43,200. This is what we have to study today in the topic of simple interest.